3 to 4 times faster. You can cultivate seeds and do all kinds of things with them. We've been doing that for years. As a matter of fact, we used to put our pyramid, special one we developed in flower shops, and it cut their spoilage down by a huge amount of money, so they didn't have to throw their roses out after 2 or 3 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we've done that for years. That's for almost 35 years, to be exact.
Is it the shape of the pyramid, Fred, that somehow harnesses this energy?
It's not. It's the shape. It resonates, and it resonates. The red blood cell in the body carries oxygen and the life force through the body, and it's made up of 4 pyramids, octahedrons, and that's the 2 hemes, and and that's the hemoglobin. It's the shape. And shape, that's the whole thing we were talking about tonight, it's resonant energy. When we stop a microwave beam, we have a special shape. We have a thing called a flamethrower that we developed that grabs microwaves, and we grab them with the antenna system, and we just break them down into nothing. And what happens is it creates a backscatter in the room so that there's cancellation going on in the entire room. So a small device in the corner, grounded properly, will negotiate the entire room, or in some places the entire house. It depends on how big the house is. So we've been doing that for a long, long time because shape energy works. And if you look at microwave energy, if you look at these feed horns, like when you get up into centimeter stuff, they got look like little pipes, and the microwaves come down those little pipes. And that shape, the size of that pipe, they're rectangular shapes with a feed horn on the top, and then that parabolic dish to transmit it down. That's the resonant frequency. Well, we have devices that demodulate and destroy that. And not only does it destroy it, we can actually make a plant grow on it. We can put radiation on a plant and it'll grow. It would normally kill it, but it has to go through one of our things that we make, So I've been doing that for a long time, a long time.
Okay, let's go next to Sacramento, California. It's Brian's turn. Hey, Brian, thanks for calling.
Hey, how's it going, George? Man, I love your show. My dad was a art build guy, so I'm really happy to talk to you.
Keep it in the family, huh?
Oh, yeah, hell. I've done a lot of research on the Internet. I'm only 12th grade, but I think I'm PhD on the Internet on, the weird stuff that we go through. One of the things is the vibrating stuff, and this is what I think we're getting into here, and I'm wondering, because he's talking about healing and vibrations, is there anything we can do genetic-wise? My daughter has Marfan syndrome. Is that something that can be healed with a vibration, or is that kind of a little too far?
Well, be careful with the word healing, because Fred doesn't make any specific claims.
Yeah, not necessarily healing,
I understand. Go ahead,
Fred.
Fred.
We can take a situation like that. We've done a lot. Autism is one we've been really successful with, but what we do is we create an environment where the disease conditioning symptoms that you're describing tend not to be there anymore. They just have a tendency to go away. You don't need a big Q-band machine to do something like that. There's simple therapies that are quite effective that we can help you with. You just need to call in and talk to my staff or something on something like that. We can help you, sure.
I've seen a lot of stuff on the Internet about getting rid of cancer and stuff. But this is like a genetic disorder where her gene, she's missing a gene. So
I understand.
All the stuff the doctors tell you, I don't think it's exactly what the reality is. Like a gene missing might be a vibration missing.
No, it's called DNA RNA gene spacing is what we're dealing with here. It's dealing with a space, and there's other elements that go into it, but that's an area that we're familiar with. I mean, we can't go spot on with everything, but we could give it a heck of a run. We'd be glad. We'll look into it, no charge. I do this stuff for free for people, if I can help them out. Because a lot of times I'll recommend things we don't do or don't make or have anything to do with, but I know somewhere something exists. And I love doing that. That's what I do, is help people.
Well, that's the name of the game. We talked last night, Fred, about why so many people seem to be acting weird these days.
Yeah.
There's something going on out there.
Well, yeah, it's a combination. I mean, I've been studying. We didn't talk about tonight what's in the food. The genetic stuff that's in the food that you buy in a supermarket. There's so many mind control things that are being put into the chemistry, the DNA. That's why we have to go in and develop these radiation forms that we have now with the Q-band to get that out of the person's system. We have to basically detox them, not just from heavy metal poisoning anymore. It's like heavy spiritual poisoning almost on the body when you start looking at it radionically, and we use scalar wave technology. We use a lot of different stuff, we're doing it. But the most exciting thing is the quantum. The quantum is so quick and so sudden, and it just negates everything. You'd have to see a demonstration to understand it. That's all I can say. I can't explain it on the air because I'm not good enough to do that. You might be able to, but I'm working on it, you know.
I got an email today from one of our listeners whose girlfriend doesn't believe anything he talks about, which he picks up from this program.
Right.
And he said, George, what do I tell her? How do I begin to school her so she understands that, you know, there's something going on with the Mayan calendar, that there's alternative medicine, that there's, you know, she's so practical.
Yeah.
She believes mainstream everything, and she won't look outside the box. What do you tell somebody like that?
You really let them blindly get trapped in the box. At some point, she'll get trapped, and she'll want out, because mainstream is totally based on greed and control and fascism. I mean, I don't know what she does. She must be some kind of a professional somewhere, maybe. I don't know. I've seen people with a lot of collegiate training in Ivy League where I came through, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're just stuck in old ideas, you know. But the real people, like the skull and bones people, they know what's going on, you know. I mean, these are the guys that are the great implementers of what goes on in our society. And I mean, I'm telling you, you know, Monsanto, I could start spouting off about different doctors of Monsanto, the horrible stuff that they're putting in, you know, and even bugs won't even eat some of the food that, you know, you probably already know that anyway, you know. I mean, they won't eat corn. Corn is a big area where they're playing a lot with corn, for example. It's just one item.
I read today where now a lot of genetically modified foods are blowing into the wild.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a problem for them, because they've always accused farmers of trying to do some holding back of seeds and stuff like that. They're supposed to buy every year. That's how they make their money. In the old days, farmers would plant traditional corn, keep some seeds back for their next planting season, and go from there.
Right.
And they won't have to buy seeds anymore.
And they won't let you, if you do that now, they won't let you sell your crops.
No, not at all. Now they control everything.
No, they do. I mean, we have avocado. We have 300 avocado trees. And we can sell them to the avocado place, one place that buys them all. But I went down took some down one day to a couple stores, just for the heck of it, you know, and they wouldn't buy them. And then these are you know.
Did they know you?
They know me, but they said we can't buy those. And I said, why? In the government regulations, we have to buy them. I mean, this is like Sprouts.
You could sell them to someone else who maybe had a deal with the stores, but you couldn't sell them directly.
No.
Crazy.
You can sell them with Alvarez or whatever is the company up here that picks them up here, but they got to go through a controlled thing. You know what they do with these avocado companies that harvest all the avocados up here. Of course, in this area, near Fallbrook, it's not what it used to be. I mean, Mexico and these other areas bring more avocados in, but it's controlled. You cannot take produce off your farm and go down to the store. It's not allowed. I was shocked when I found that out.
Let's go to Ken, Fairbanks, Alaska. Go ahead, Ken. Thanks for holding.
Hi, George. Thanks.
Sure.
Hi, Dr. Bell.
Hi.
Hey, I'm going to try and get in touch with you. Just look out for my email. It's Kevin in Fairbanks, not Ken. It's Kevin.
Okay.
But I'd also like to point out that you're right. It's all frequency and consciousness. It's just hard to relay it in like a human encyclopedia that you do. But it's cool. You got a lot of information.
Well, I'm trying. It's hard. I'm understanding it myself, but to deliver the information coherently on this show in the short period of time that we got, because 2 or 3 hours just shoots by like crazy. We got so much to cover. But I'm doing my best. George is a pretty good interviewer.
Pretty good?
Yeah, he's excellent.
That's better.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll never be on this show again. But I love George. We have more fun. I wouldn't want George's job. It's a lot of work. I'll be a guest, but I don't want to be in the seat where he's at, because he knows a lot of stuff.
Well, Freddie, I've been doing this since I was 19.
Yeah, the other thing, having done a lot of shows with you over a decade, I got to be on top of it now. In the old days, you weren't quite aware of some of the things that I talk about, but now you know this stuff. So to get ahead of you is a bit of a challenge.
I tell you, it's a learning process.
Yeah, you're learning a lot and about many subjects now.
Let's go to Colt in Mesa, Arizona. First-time caller. Hey, Colt, welcome.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Hey, Mr. Bell. First-time caller. I'm a big fan. I'm going to go really fast here. There's 2 topics I just wanted to comment on really fast. You were speaking earlier about holographics and the hoax of possibly a UFO invasion. I just wanted to say to that, this has been my opinion for a while. I'm 27. I've done about 5 or 6 years of research on everything around 2012. And I think, that many U.S. presidents, they've, wanted to try and form with many other leaders, like a new world order. So it would make sense that if people around the world thought we were under some kind of invasion, I think it would probably take about 5 seconds for everyone to get together and say, let's combine forces.
Yeah, I agree. Reagan had that idea originally. He kind of came up with that because of the real UFO threat from some of these alien grays. But now they've taken it on the other hand, and we become our own threat, basically.
Fred, did you know that General MacArthur at the time also talked about some of the next big wars would be interplanetary and that we needed to get ready? Now, was he talking in terms of just general terms, or did he really know something?
Oh, he knew something. Remember, he was friends with Eisenhower, and Eisenhower was the one that made the deal with the Greys back in 52 or 51 out there at Muroc Field, which is now Edwards. Yeah, he knew. MacArthur knew a lot of stuff. Remember, MacArthur was like a skull and bones guy. He was very smart, very well educated, came from a very high family, and he had his nose in everything.
It was too smart. It was too smart for Truman.
Yeah. Oh, Truman didn't have a chance. No, absolutely
did not like him at all.
No, I didn't either. I missed Ike and Mamie Eisenhower. I was in Buffalo when he flew in from the war, and I saw his big transport plane fly right over our house to land in Buffalo. I'll never forget that because everybody was looking up for this big super constellation.
Well, Fred, lots of things changing on this planet. We're going to monitor all of them. Thanks again for being on the program.
Yeah, and could you put our little number out, a couple of numbers?
Go for it.
Okay, it's 1-800-729-2603 or 949-499-2603.
And can they get these numbers off your website?
They can get some of them off the website, and then we always get backed up because this is a popular show. We might be 2 or 3 days getting back to you, but we have good answering machines. I mean,
it takes time, Fred. There's no doubt. Hey, thanks again. For Dan Galante, Tom Danheiser, Lisa Lyon, Lex Lonehood, Sean Ladesseur, Stephanie Smith, Ross Mitchell, George Knapp, Ian Punnett, and Art Bell, I'm George Norrie, somewhere out there on Coast to Coast AM. We'll see you on our next edition. Until then, be safe, everyone.